Okay, I think we're ready. I think we're ready. I got everything going live, so I think we're ready to go. Rory, are you on? We get going.
Oh, hello. I take my glasses off. I can see so good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think it's the products he's taking, but his eyesight is coming back. I don't know. Well, welcome, guys, to our Thursday training. Rory, do you want to start?
Um, I guess I can start back and forth. We actually been a lot of meditation on tonight's training. Oh my gosh, look at everybody's coming in. We're
Mhm.
at the top of the hour. I'm gonna first start off. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I'm gonna start out by just saying, first of all, I'm very grateful. And I just you guys as guys, you want to make us happy, feed us, love us. I just got fed. I'm good. Like I'm so happy right now. Um, so thanks, babe. You guys, I get amazing food all the time. It's quite a blessing. So thanks, babe. I'm gonna go over. I guess we'll get us started. We wanted to go over your whys and really drive it home. There are a lot of things that are about to happen. Okay, the major things that come, and when you're building a business, and I'm just going to go from a lot of past experience. You figure things out. You figure out the hurdles. You figure out the friction points. And I actually thought we were past a lot of them. And then you start listening to people, and you're hearing more and more complaints of why they can't get somewhere. Well, I don't believe in, oh, this is the way it is, fix it. I believe in, let's make it better. Right? Let's make it better. What do we need to do to make it better? And it's something I think has just been completely ingrained in my training from Jim Rohn, because people will complain about the economy. My home life sucks. I got all these kids to take care of. I can't find the time. You can come up with a reason not to do anything all the time. In fact, you don't even have to look far. You can. I don't sleep well anymore. I'm just not myself. I'm kind of under the weather all the time. And man, you can blame politics. You can blame the economy. You can blame your neighbor. You can blame that your kids need more attention. You can blame that you're not there to handle stuff. You can make up a million reasons why you don't do something. Easy. And people would say, oh well, I guess that's justified. But what where it comes down to succeeding is having a why, a reason to succeed that's so strong, so important, so amazing that you're going to overcome the other things to go achieve more. And I'm going to be the first person that you may ever hear that's going to say this. Money buys happiness. It buys everything. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this. I came from a situation in my life where we had nothing. Literally, we got hand-me-downs from the neighbors, from the church, from grandpa. We had nothing. And when you taste that and you have to deal with it, and I don't mean like once, I mean years of it. When you get the opposite and you see the difference, there's a difference in happiness. I've heard people say things like, well, we had each other. You know what? My parents were miserable. Nothing was great. And I'm just going to just say, when you've got the affluence to handle things, especially when you got it in the right sequence of life, it is happy. It's very happy. And when you understand what true happiness is, which is the service to others, like if you want to be happy, help somebody. There's no better joy than helping somebody else. There just isn't. And I always say this, you can pray so much and that goes so far. And faith is amazing, but the resources that God's given us, the resources that we have available, if you have the resources, you can make a difference. You can help others. And we go down to like the parables and stuff, right? Where, and I say this all the time. I've always believed that I need to teach people how to fish so they can feed themselves over and over again. And so that you can correct something for not just them, but for their family and their legacy. if someone didn't teach me how to create residual income, I mean, I didn't know where I'd be. When I got picked up, from my mentors, I knew how to make money, but I was selling things over and over again. If I didn't keep selling, I wasn't making money. I didn't understand the difference between linear wealth and leveraged wealth until I was a teenager, which granted, it's early enough, but I got to tell you, for years, I was just buying and selling things, buying and selling things, buying and selling things, buying and selling things. And it was a constant grind, right? If I had a bad week, I had bad income. And
What I don't think they understand though, Rory, is that for you guys, what I want you guys to understand here is that Rory's family was very, very poor and he had to work to pay the bills. So he was a young boy doing door-to-door sales at like 10 years old on. He had to do it. That's how they bought groceries. So I think a lot of people look at their excuses in life and think, oh, I can't do this. I didn't come from that. But it really is mindset. It really is. Because I'm here to tell you, we both came from humble beginnings, him more than me, to be fair. But we both came from humble beginnings, but we had a desire to do better. And I don't know about in his case, but in my case, my parents pushed me to excel and do better. And so, you know, we were very fortunate that way, that we had direction. And when I was stuck, I had a mentor, which was usually my father and my mother, that would help guide me in a direction. So, you know, there's that. But I also want to say, you guys, that I love the quote from Nelson Mandela. He is so inspirational to me. But he says that this is here from him. He says, there is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. So there's no passion to be found in playing small, guys, taking it safe. You have to take risks. And even though it's hard to take risks, sometimes you get scared. You have to fail to win. You know, they said that what is it that, you know, Thomas Edison, when he had 1,000 fails before he got the light bulb. The 1,001 was the light bulb. And it's those keep going and keep moving forward, right? And so as you guys are the only ones that are going to dictate your success or your failures. And to be a failure is that's nothing. It's no big deal. Right? And I've had tons of failures. We just kept going, right? And I think that a lot, you know, I know you're all here because you want to fix something. So what do you want to do? And for me, I think the best way to find your why or find your passion really is to, like we were saying, serve others. When you jump into the team and you help build and grow somebody else, you find passion in that. You find a place that you are needed and wanted. And I feel like that's really what is missing. Another mentor of mine said, working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. So what is it that you love, and what are you working for? What are you moving towards? Because that will be the passion. So find your passion here, guys, because we have that ability here. There's so much passion to be found in doing what we do here. And I told the story a long time ago, and I think I'm going to share it again. Was that, you know, certain stages of our lives that we go through, we have a why. I had a why when I started in the network marketing business. I had a why. I had small children, and I had a very big why, and nothing stronger than a mother trying to provide for her children. But as you get older, you lose that. Your why changes, and if you don't know it, then it's hard to know the direction to go. And so, you know, I was floundering for quite a while, guys, and being this empty nester when you're so used and focused to that was very difficult for me. And so finding my why, I didn't have one. So I always tell the story is I borrowed Rory's passion until I found my own. So you find a partner, or if you don't have one, you borrow ours. Borrow the passion that we have for what we're doing here, for helping you guys, for helping and encouraging others to find a way out of their problems, right? And like money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure freaking helps, and it puts you on that road to. And to me, it's really about time freedom, and then being able to designate your time to pockets of your life that you want to fix or you want to draw closer in a certain area. And you know, for me, that was completely it opened it up for me to be able to do more things that I wanted to on a spiritual side that I really wanted to focus on and grow. So that was really important to me. And also now I get to be more time with my grandkids, right? So those are things that were more important to me that I focused and switched. But also, you guys, it's so, and I'm speaking to most of you guys here because most of you guys are my age or older. and you guys have lost your direction or you've lost your focus. And I don't think that you see how important it is for your life. And you guys, I promise you, if you just keep on the path and pushing yourself for better, all you're going to do is fall forward. I love, I'll quote another guy. I'm always reading self stuff. I'm always reading uplifting things. And I really, and Denzel Washington really inspires me. And he said he never believed in having a fallback career, because if he was going to fall, he was going to fall forward. He was going to see what he was landing on. And I really love that quote, because it's so true. You guys, we all think, okay, I'm not going to jump in here yet until I learn every little thing, because you think you can fall back on something else. But when you take that away, when you take that cushy away, and you realize that you're going to work forward and move forward, no matter what I'm, like, for instance, I don't know if she's here, but Stacy, like, she quit her job. Jackie quit her job. They quit their jobs. This is it. Linda has no other job now. This is her job. That's same with Niall. He has no other job. This is it. They took away all that because they were solely committed to working here and pushing forward and finding success here. And guess what? They are, because they didn't have, there's no excuses, right? And it's just really about, that, finding that path for you guys to find your happiness. Now, whatever it is that's holding you back, and it could be several different things. Roy gave you several. I didn't have the best life. I've suffered from this, or I've had this issue, or there's that. But those are all, really and truthfully, they're all excuses. They're all excuses. Because I tell this, people I don't think you guys understand that we were like that too. And so that's why I say it all the time, you guys. Everybody has a sad story, because all of us, Roy and I included, have had horrific things happen to us in the past. I mean, I could tell you some really terrible things that have happened to me, but I chose for those not to define me. I'm going to define me. I'm going to choose what defines me. And my higher power up there, it defines me, right? So I'm going to move forward on the path that he has for me. And I'm going to push forward, because maybe those things happened to me because I was learning something. And I can honestly say every bad thing that has happened to me in my life has pushed me forward. And I've learned from that for the next experience in my life, and for the next experience in my life until I'm here now. And I'm continuing to learn. Now I'm trying to choose to learn through good experiences and not the bad ones. But you don't always get to choose that, right? So it's just, everybody, truthfully, don't let that hold you back. Don't let your past hold you back. Just, we really need to focus on you and changing your mindset, and knowing that you are needed here in Triple R. You have a talent that Triple R needs. You have something that Triple R needs. There's somebody out there that needs what you've got. And we have a community here of people that love it, and they need it too. I mean, just, you guys, I'm going to say, a couple of weeks ago, when Linda got in there and introduced herself and told her story, that encouraged so many people, because they didn't know. But she came from humble beginnings too. People don't think that. They only see where you are now. They don't know where you have come from. And so when you share your story, you share why you're here, why you're doing what you're doing, for all those people to hear, it encourages them as well. Because, everybody can find something to do to make themselves feel good. But this is really the way where you can find not only something to make you feel good, but it can change lives. You can change lives with what we do. Rory, you want to add anything there? I was taken away. Sorry, guys. I stepped in.
Well, we were going to go back and forth on this, because now I'm just going to go on the why thing. There's a training we go through, right? And back to the environment we grow up in. You've heard people make excuses around you your whole life. And the thing about it is, about excuses, they're easy. I don't care who you are. The second you give an excuse, that's like the easiest way out ever. It's laziness. We all know it. And there's nothing good that comes. Tell me anything in your life that's been good because you took an excuse out. Doesn't happen. Yet we do it all the time. And the thing about when you get involved in like a self-employment situation, something where you actually can make a lot of money and not be controlled by the man, not trading hours for dollars, is if it's going to be, it's up to you. You're the one that's got to get up every day. You're the one that's got to not get distracted every day. You're the one that's got to prioritize your reason for doing it above all other reasons to get it done. When you work for yourself, getting distracted and losing a day, it can become an easy habit, a defeating habit. And it's, you know, and I have a lot of people like, Rory, I don't know how you do what you do. Well, you know what? My why is so strong that it keeps me going when it gets tough. You know what drives me? I got to tell you, I think sometimes people they take life for granted. If you've never really suffered, you don't know what it's like, and you kind of like living a mediocre thing. You don't know what it's like. And this is why, like, I mean, I'll bring up Costigar up. He knows what it's like to have nothing, absolute worse than nothing. He knows what it's like to be imprisoned because of your race and your creed, and because they want to force you into slavery and work for the army, or you're dead. He knows this. I don't know that. I've never had to face that. And you know, when you ever hear him talk about how we have it in the American way, he gets it more than I get it. I can only think and imagine it. I can't feel that. But what I can tell somebody is what I come from. I know what it's like not to have a single morsel of food in the house and have to go beg for food from a neighbor. I have to get the church involved to come bring food for the family so we can eat, because there's no way the bank account for the family is under $2,000. No, there's no way things are happening because parents don't know what to do. I know what it's like. And I'm not talking one time or 1 month. I'm talking years of it. So when you know where that's at, and you know what that's like, and you don't want it again, it creates a thing. Like, I will never, ever be in that situation. And from the time I was a teenager on up, thank God I was given some mentoring and some guidance. I never had to worry about that again. I mean, if I have a struggle now, it's nothing like what most people struggle about. It's not a money struggle. I figured out how to make money and how to get in the way of it so well that won't be an issue. However, I was driven to that because I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to basically be on the street. You know, by the good graces of the bankruptcy court, we kept a house, but I mean, embarrassing. I can tell you that drives you. Now, the thing about it is, when you're trying to establish a why, I remember I went to a conference, and I was already past all this. I was growing, and I remember somebody got up on stage, and they told their story, and they had succeeded a lot, and they had every reason in the world to give up on life. They pushed through, and you hear the story, and it's great. But they said something, and I've heard it many times since, and it's you know, it's a shared truth. If your why doesn't make you want to cry, you need to get a new why. And the first time I heard that, I was like, that's a silly saying. And then when it dug home, I was like, oh, wait, that makes sense to me. And someone had to explain it the right way. And the right way is this: if your why isn't as important, like your why, if whatever your why is, if someone was to take that away from you and you could never have it, and that made you cry, that's the why you want. And then you got to go get it. And that could be different for everybody. We all have a different direction. Now, a lot of us are the same. You know, I can tell you, whenever I talk to a grandparent and they say, you know, they have the grandkids, the second they say the grandkid lives in other states, they haven't seen him for a while, oh, I want to cry for them. The only reason they're not seeing that grandkid is because they can't afford the airfare, the hotel, whatever the situation is. They may not get along great with their kids. I understand that too. We don't always get along with our kids as we get older, but we want to see the grandkids. In fact, I'll speak this outright. You may not care about your kids anymore. All you care about is the grandkids, right? You could care less if your kids are there. You want to see your grandkids. And if you can't see them, or you haven't seen them for years, that's not by choice. That's by a financial decision you made, or some other reason. It's not by a positive choice. Literally, it is by your choice, but it's not your desire. And a lot of people just don't have the knowledge, the means to make it better. So when you've got a path that can make it better, and you can get them to focus on that, that becomes a why that would make you cry. Because if you can't see your grandkids all the time, that's a sad, sad tragedy, especially when those grandkids are little. You know, Linda, your grandkids are your life. If you couldn't see them every day or every week or every month or every year, I mean, why even be around? Like all the joy of our life is in our grandkids now. Well, that and helping everybody in the family, but you guys get it. I mean, we have a passion with Triple R 247 that feeds us. We get to help other people and accomplish things, and that feeds us. Our why, we want to help millions of families around the world. And you know what? If I can't do that in my lifetime with the gifts that we've been given, and I'll say this, I talk about my gifts a lot because I recognize them, and I get to shout them out because I know if I shout them out and I claim them and I put it out there, they're going to resonate even more. Tanya, she's got some incredible gifts, unbelievable gifts, and she gets to share those with the world too. Between the two of us, and we get to help a lot of people. And now that you recognize that and you know that you can do that, that is our why. And I can tell you, if we can't help people, I was on a call today, and it's a student, and she was like, Rory, I got to tell you that one of the talks that Tanya did, it really inspired me. And, and you guys talked about Christ, and you guys talked about, God a lot. And Tanya went into a thing on one of her trainings. She says, it got me to get baptized. It felt me. And I got to tell you, I brought Tanya in here. I interrupted Tanya. She was doing something on the DTCA stuff. And I said, you got to hear this. If we get to help one person ever, that's a blessing. Right. And to hear about it, and you don't always know who you're affecting, but we're in a path to help people. That's our why. And if somebody said you can't help another person, oh yeah, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight to get back to that. That's why I have a drive for that. So when people ask me, I don't know how Rory does it. My why is big. My why is so big, I don't want to lose it. My why drives me. And I have the same why as a lot of us have. My grandkids are a definite why. But I know that I can see them more, and I can schedule out my time and accomplish all these other things because I've learned the habits and the patterns of life to make it happen. But I had to get to a point where I knew what that was, recognized it, and said, do I deserve it? Yes. You got to find that you deserve it.
That's the thing, you guys. That's the thing. I don't feel like a lot of people mislook that. They think they're not worthy of it, or that you guys will set a milestone for yourself. Like, hey, I want to bring an extra $100 a month in. You guys hit that and you sabotage yourselves. You stop working because I don't think you guys feel like you're worthy of more, and you are. You are worthy of more. You're worthy of whatever you guys want. And to be truth be said, you guys, this is the whole reason I am here. My why is because I want to reach people. I want to teach you guys how to free your time up so that you can really devote yourself back to Christ. That's really what it's all about for me. That's what it's about for me. And I want you guys to realize that it's such a huge part of your life. And it's a path that once you go there, you're only going to find happiness. It's just like the rules we have here in Triple R, the rules that are really just to guide you and keep you on the path of success, right? They're not really rules, they're just guidelines, suggestions. And it's the same thing with Christ. His rules are just guidelines for a happy life. And once you find that out and you can marry the two, it's just amazing. Yeah, Rory wants to help you guys free up help you guys find your financial power so that you can free up your time. And I really want you to free up your time so you can find yourself back where it needs to be, back where you started. And so, it's just that path, that pathway. This is our why. Besides our grandchildren, they are number one by far. they are the bee's knees. I have a granddaughter in the other room right now. How blessed am I that I get to have that? That's just the most special thing.
I'll bring something up, and Linda, I always like to bring you up because you're family anyway, but the grandparent thing is a real bond. Mm-hmm. And I got to say something, when I'm doing my BRTs and I get to talk, we talk to a lot of grandparents. Why? Well, people of the grandparent age that are near retirement or in retirement, that followed the path that they were put on from the broken environment of the world to go to school, work for the same place for 40 years and retire broke. That's what they got. Okay. So we get a lot of that. Like I can honestly tell you, it is a big part of our student base is people that are getting ready to retire, are retired or looking to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. And they realize that things aren't adding up. Their path that they thought they had figured out isn't working out. It's a reality. And when you talk to them and you go through the whys, They all thought that they would be able to retire, spend time with the grandkids, travel the world, do all this stuff. Well, they can't, just purely inflation alone is taking it away, right? And all these things you get to hear about and you go through it. And I was just like, I'm remembering, and, I look back at my grandfather all the time. Okay. He was not a very wealthy man, but he never had a debt. In fact, I'll tell a story since he's not around to hear it. When I was 16, right? I didn't have credit. I wasn't 18. And um, 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 I had uncles and aunts and stuff that were always looking for co-signers because they made bad choices or whatever else. And my grandma Rickard and my grandpa Thorpe, and my grandma Rickard wouldn't co-sign on anybody. Okay. But I remember they all knew I was trying to do well. We had a disgusting family car. I bought a car when I was 15, was fixing it up, but I was driving 45 minutes each way to go work in an office. I was running an office. They were all proud of me, but the bus route was ridiculous. It would take 3 hours by bus. So I was driving this, you guys, if you saw, like, I was driving a gas hog car and I needed to get a better vehicle. And I was making money and I was paying cash for cars. And it was like, at some time you got to get a decent vehicle. And I needed a car that was like 20 grand, 25 grand, really. I needed a decent vehicle because I was seeing clients and they knew it. And this is, I'm building up. You guys, I'm 16. Okay. Now I've been driving, technically, I should say this. I was driving without an official license since I was like 12. Okay.
And you grew up in farm country, guys. Just keep that in mind.
But not only that, guys, the sheriff knew me. The sheriff lived two doors down, and I was a decent kid. I did well, but they all knew I was taking care of the family. So when I'm driving the car, I'm going to the grocery store and coming back. I'm not joyriding. I'm not causing problems. I did that after I got my license. I went crazy, but I did things that I had to, and everybody knew that, hey, this kid's running. Everybody in the neighborhood knew I was putting food on the table. I didn't go tell them. They just knew, right? They all knew, right? They saw me at the store. I'm buying food. I'm paying the cash. They see me selling stuff. And, it was an unbelievable experience. It turned me who I am. But I'm going to tell you this. My grandfather wouldn't co-sign for me when I asked him. That was the hardest thing to ask for. And I found out why is because he didn't really have any credit because he paid cash his entire life. Their house they lived in, he built, paid cash for it. He didn't want to own it. He didn't want to owe a single. My grandpa, when he heard that I paid any interest, it was like he would just he'd grind his teeth. Like paying interest was really bad, right? And he didn't understand the business side of things where you borrow money to make more money. He was an architect, but he was debt free. When he bought a new car, it was cash, ching, right? Everything was cash. But I found out later as he got older that, and my grandma had to go get her own credit because she wanted to get something and she didn't have credit to get something. And she was trying to, do a special thing. Well, he was just so proud to be not in debt with anything. And then my grandma Rickard, I'll bring this up. She offered a co-sign for me because I'm going somewhere, but she just owned land, didn't have the income coming in. But she said, you can't tell anybody because I've told everybody no. Your uncles, your aunts, my father, right? And I was like, it's okay. And it just taught me to go more. And then what I did is I just bought the best car I could, made more money, bought the best car I could. When I turned 18 and went and got credit, I established credit, but I was able to help my mom at the time because I was helping build things. That was the opposite direction. But I had studied how credit works. I had studied all these things. So the second I was 18, I started building things up. And what I'm going to tell you is everybody can have a reason. But the reason why you can't do something is also the reason you should do something. And everything that was stacked against me, instead of me going, I just can't do it because of this, I can't do it. No, I went, I'm going to overcome it. What can I do to overcome it? It pushed me. If you're willing, there's always a way. It's probably going to require some dedication, some time. And I look back at my life and the things I had to overcome. And all it did is make me a better person. I didn't weigh it down. I use it as a challenge to do more. But the reason why I did it is what I wanted out of life was more important. My why was so strong, I would overcome anything because I didn't want that. And I'd always have people like, Rory, what are you afraid of? And you know what? Failure wasn't what I was afraid of. You know what I was afraid of? Not doing something that I could do something about. And showing up for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, I can do that. The only reason I wouldn't do that is because I chose not to. And I refuse to choose not to. And so, when you're working with a student, especially, and I'll go on the instructor side, you talk to them and they say where they want to go and where their income needs to be and what the struggles are. And you know what? I know most of us are all nurturers. You feel for them. And the thing about it is I know I can help them. And I'll even tell them, I'll say, look, you do exactly what I tell you to do. We can get out of this, but you've got to listen to me and do it. And it's genuine. And if they do it, we will get out of it. I know we will. And because of the ways that we got everything weighted, measured, and the way the compensation structure works, I can help them if they show up. And that allows me to do everything I can to help them. And if they don't show up, that's why it didn't work. They show up, it's going to work. We'll drag them there. And you guys, I got so many more people succeeding today because of the changes we made, and we go through it. But Tanya, we had a different thing we're going to talk about today, but I'm like, we got to really hit the whys. And I got to tell you something. I never realized why I was driven so much until I went to that meeting and I heard about the why. And then I went, you know what? That's why I work so hard. My why is I don't want to live in poverty. I want nice things. I want to have affluence, and I want to be able to choose what I do. And I don't want to have to work because I have to bring money in. I want to work because I enjoy it. All these things that I lined up, why I wanted to do things. My whys were a lot. There wasn't just one why, and they were all super important. And if I just pushed myself and I did this and I did this, all my whys were accomplished. That's what drives me. That's what drives me every day. And the good news about a pattern is once you change your patterns, achieving goals, for instance, becomes easy because you already know how to do it. You change your patterns. It's all in your attitude, all in your mental focus, and what you choose to do with your time. That's everything. That's everything.
Yeah.
This is why I don't watch TV. I'll say this again. TV has never helped me. TV has never made me happy. Watching television, I'll go over this too. Like, I don't even watch as much football as I used to because it doesn't even make me happy like it used to.
There's so much garbage out there, you guys, and it really is garbage in, garbage out. It makes you sad. It just doesn't edify you or make you feel good. Helping others makes you feel good. Doing things that, that to bring you closer to your God, that makes you feel good. Things like that path makes you feel good. And it's so scary now because there's so much on there that's just twisted. And so it's just not. I always ask myself when I'm watching anything, is this going to draw me closer to God or further away? And normally it's further away. So I just don't do it. I just don't watch TV. But it's just also, Rory always says this. He tells our kids this, that TV never paid me a cent. Why would I give it my time? And so our free time is so valuable to us because what we choose to do in our free time is who we are. And it's usually our family. That's usually what we do in our free time is our family. And
when she says family, it's all about the grandkids. That's not a kid.
No, I have children too that I donate to. I donate my time to my babies as well. They're just grown, but yeah. But then that's just what it is. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do, guys. Work and earn. And guess what, you guys have that benefit now of working and earning money that will also benefit your grandchildren as well. You guys can put aside for them and help them. And maybe you'll learn some things here that you can teach them to make their life a little bit easier earlier. They don't have to go through the hard times that maybe you guys have experienced. And that's another thing of my whys. I want my grandchildren to know you don't have to go through this path. You don't have to choose that one. You can choose this one. No, Papa can help you. We can help you make a different choice. So that's really what it's all about. So we just love you guys. We care. We want you guys to get out of your own way. So many of you guys have been here and you're good people and you have an amazing heart and amazing work ethics, but you just give up on yourself. You get caught in the little things that tie you up and tie up your time. And time, you guys, if you understand anything, take away from here, understand time is the only thing you can never get back. You can get back pretty much anything else you can get back, but time you cannot. So, choosing to talk and chat and do something instead of focusing, okay, I'm going to work and grow this. And I promise you guys, if you put in the time, if you put in the effort, for a full year, you dedicate yourself to doing this, 4 hours a day of marketing. And I'm not even kidding you guys, because that's where it's at. Then you go into the trainings, you're putting your people into the trainings. You're just following the system. I promise you guys, in a year, your life's going to look extremely different. But you can't waste your time on the little things. You got to focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle and change your life. And you guys will find joy and success, because once you start meeting all your other needs and meeting everything else you have going on, that's when you can really focus in on your goals and yourself and your personal life. And you can find what needs to be fixed here, and you fix that. So just want you guys to find the happiness that you deserve. And I promise you, this is the step. This is the way. It really is. It is. I don't, there's nothing else. And I think a lot of it is underlooked, you guys. The free marketing to build is such a gift. It is a huge gift. And I don't think, because it's always been there for everybody, they don't understand the benefit of that. But, we have people that we're helping that aren't a part of this, and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. They think is every single day, they think is for leads. Every single day we get thanks for that. I was spending thousands of dollars on that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And they are running with it. They're signing people up left and right. And then I'm looking at everybody over here that who I care about and I love and I want you guys to grow. Why aren't you guys doing that? I don't understand. But I just feel like you guys, maybe you don't understand the value of what you have, and maybe you also don't have the direction. So if that's something that you guys need, definitely, I will help you out with that. I will help you guys. We'll get a path down. We'll move it. Join us next week, and we will have a path all laid out for you in case you guys forgot it, because it's been there all along. But next week, when you guys come in, we'll lay out the path again, so you guys have it all in crystal clear for y'all. And it's really just showing up for yourself and scheduling it and making sure it works. But we can lay it out. We're gonna sit here and spell it all out for you. But it's just, I want you guys to realize the gift that you have, and the reason we're doing it is because we believe in all of you. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you've come from. I love you all. And I want you all to find happiness. And I truthfully mean that. I don't have a judgy bone in my body. I love everybody. And that's just how it is. So I just want you guys to all be happy and find success. And this is the path. You just have to show up for yourself, and you have to work. But because no one's afraid of little work, right? It just makes you better. Anyway, that's it for me, Rory. I think I'm good for this tonight. You have anything else you want to
I'm gonna
add?
add, I have a couple of things to add, and then we'll close out a little bit early tonight as opposed to a full hour. But we have a lot of things that's going to be announced on April 20th. In case you haven't written it down, April 20th is a Saturday. It's a full day of training. We're not going to stop our training. We have a lot of things to release: the 2-hour training, and then the 2 hours of eMarket. And then after that, we have a 3-hour. It's a virtual event. April 20th. We are going to unveil all sorts of things, walk you through it. It's an amazing direction for Triple R. Along the way, though, a lot of rollouts. I'll spell this out. I mean, we're going to be given a bunch of things on Saturday. All the Tuesdays and all the Saturdays from here till then is getting you guys ready for what we're going to do. And all this is, you drive it, and you guys, I didn't, I've been going nonstop for the last few days to getting, I got really excited. That's what happens to me. I get a vision, I go for it, and I want it done. I don't want to rest until it's done. And I get my creative zone, which happens about 36 hours of no sleep, is when I get really creative. For whatever reason, my focus ability is insane at 36 hours of no sleep. So I knocked out a bunch of things. You guys will be able to see it. So the instructor call on Monday is going to be awesome. Awesome. Like I'm gonna like literally. So make sure all your instructors are there. If you got people that are almost an instructor that are ready, just get them in. Get the NDAs out, get them in the system, get them in the queue. Get them there. Monday is going to be insane. I promise you. When I show you guys on Monday. So for those that have been here for a long time, Monday is going to blow your mind. For those that I've only been here for a short time, you're going to be like, what? And it's so awesome. I'll also let you guys know that Tanya went through the entire flow, A to Z. And boy, did she have some advice for me. And for those that are married, when your wife understands something and tells you, you know, she's right already. Like the second she opens her mouth to give you any type of direction, you already know she's right. And then all I was like, well, you could have told me this anytime. But okay. I listened to her. I wrote it down, slammed it out. So when you see these changes, I'm going to take part credit that I actually listened and didn't argue and just did it. But it's at least 85% Tanya. Okay, at least. So just know that on Monday. But and I'm not even joking, you guys. Like, and she gave me the reasons, right? So she's like, "Wow, this is complex. We got to make this easier." No wonder. I'm like, you could have gone through this anytime, babe. Anytime when I made changes. Anytime. But timing was right. Things were in place.
It's also, I was listening to you guys really, when you talk to me, I really do listen to you guys. So those who are in McKinney, Chris Babs particularly, he gave me some pointers, and then I just started looking, right? When I have my leadership tell me a few things, I'll go and start looking. Okay, let me look at this. And then I've had Niall and Dina and Linda say a few things as well. I just started looking. Okay, I'm gonna look at this. So I dove into it, and yeah, it's better. It's much better. Excited for you guys to see it.
It's already actually like, well, so that's Monday. Saturday, guys, I'm going to drop a lot on you guys on Saturday. We're going to roll some things out for the directions, but just know that Tuesdays, Saturdays, we're getting you ready for what's coming. And we already know what's coming. We're waiting on some programming for a lot of it, but we already know what's coming. And it means a shift, you know, and you guys, I'll let you know this too. Like I look at it, and it's like, you guys have saw me. I mean, we just recently did a big all day marathon, right? What was I, 22 and a half hours straight? And I could easily say, oh my gosh, that's good enough. We don't need to make changes. That never comes out of my mouth. That never does it doesn't enter my head. If I can make it easier for everybody, I understand leadership wise, if I can save 5 minutes even times everybody, that's thousands, tens of thousands of hours we save. We just saved hours. So it'll be millions of hours over the course of just years that we saved doing this process. You guys will see it on Monday on the instructor call. I'm going to start giving some of you guys that stuff on Saturday. And I think I'm just going to go through. It's a pattern of whys. Like we want everybody to succeed so well. So if we can find a way to make it better, that feeds us. That's part of our why. Our encompassing why is to make things better all the time, right? You can complain or you can use that same energy to make things better. The thing about a complaint, I can't fix all the complaints. You know what I can do? I can make things better. I can spend that same energy to make it better. And, you know, I have a problem and I try to get better at it. I'll tell you what my problem is. I can make anything work. I can. I know I can. But that doesn't help the person that needs the extra stuff or the easier path. Doesn't help them. So I've learned to become better. And it comes with my 2 ears. Listen. Okay. I could easily say, well, it works for me. Why doesn't it work for you? I could easily say that. Or I can just say, well, if I make it better for you, it makes it better for me too, right? If I can help you do more, then that actually helps it duplicate. It's all in your mindset and what you choose to do with it. And I've never, ever been afraid of hard work. I also believe in making things easy. I also like to look at things and say, well, we could do it this way, or we could do it this way, or do it this way. Let's test and see which one's more feasible, what's more time sensitive, which is more efficient. And that's what I try to do. And if I can shave that time, I want to. And I can't wait to tell you guys on Monday. But I want to tell you, this is it's another one of the biggest changes ever we made that's going to make a big impact. And it's because it saves time. It's efficient. We don't lose anything other than we make it easier for everybody. I'd give you a hint on it, but I'm going to tell you it's going to blow you away anyway. We'll just do it on Monday. All right, Tanya, I could keep going because I go over the why, but I'm just going to say this, and then I think we just end it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay, well,
Cover
you
it,
have
guys,
you have
and
the
I-
magic button.
Yeah, I will end it, guys, because I think this is good for tonight. Next week, I think we'll just go over the flow again. Can I go through that?
Let me end with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to leave.
Okay, good.
Okay.
He's the king of not never ending. He's the king of, and one more thing.
So I have to like close myself off.
And
Can I
one more thing.
finish?
I love you. Go.
Figure out what your why is. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you show up on these calls? Why do you show up on these trainings? Figure out what it is. Write it down. And when you're writing it down, after you see it visibly,
Mhm.
ask yourself, if somebody came and took that away and I could never have that, how would that make me feel? Love you. Love you guys.